Hello everyone, myself Dr. Jyoti Mandala. Welcome you all to the video lectures on object-oriented programming through Java. So let us continue the learning of control statements in Java, where in our last video we learned the part 1 of this. In that we learned about selection statements, where as part of selection statements we learn about different categories of if statement, and we concluded with the switch statement. Okay, so let us proceed further. In this lecture, completely we learn about the other two categories of control statements in Java. I'll repeat one more time what is the use of these control statements. Normally, the flow of execution will be in a sequential order, but if you want to change the flow of execution, then that can be controlled by using these statements, which are mainly categorized into selection statements, iterative statements, and transfer statements. So in the last video, we already learned in detail about these selection statements with a syntax, flowchart, and example. In this video, let us learn about these two. So iterative statements are used to execute the block of statements more than once, whereas transfer statements are used to transfer the control of execution from one statement to the other statements. Okay, so let us start with the iterative statements. Now, iterative is the name itself, it is telling it repetition. Repetition is nothing but if you want to execute a single statement, or if you want to execute more than one statement, which is called as a block, if you want to execute that more than once, then it can be done by using this while statement, where we need to specify that one through a condition. So let us see, that can be done by using this while statement and a do while statement and for statement. These three are called as iterative statements. So let us start with the while statement. While is a keyword. Okay, so while is a keyword, all are of small letters. Now, if you want to execute a block of statements repeatedly, then those block of statements can be executed more than once until you provide a condition which has to be true. So until the condition is true, the statements in that block will be executed. So let us see the syntax of this one. So we need to have a keyword called while, and we need to have an expression. Remember, this expression either need to give a true value or a false value. Now when the condition is true, this block of statements will be executed. Then next, after executing this block of statement, the control will go back again to this expression. Observe the difference between the selection statements and these iterative statements. In the selection statements, earlier video statements, where after executing this block of statement, the control will come out of this one. But whereas as part of iterative statement, if you see in the while, once this block has been executed, the control will not come to the end. It will go back to the expression. Again, the condition will be checked. Now, if the condition is true, that means if the expression is true, it will come here. Again, this block will be executed. Now, after executing this one, again the control will go back here. So now, this is a repetition process. Once this expression becomes false, then from here the control will come out of this while, and the next statement will be executed. So that's why we are telling the iterative statements will be executed more than once as long as the condition is true. Okay, so if you see the flowchart here, we'll come to this condition. So if this condition is true, it will come like this, and that code block, whatever we have block here, that will be executed. Now after executing, the flow is like this. Again the condition will be checked. If it is true, again it will be executed, and again this control will go here. So this is a continuously repeated process as long as the condition is true. But once if the condition is false, then what happens? The flow is like this, and it will come out of this while, where this code of block will not be executed. Got it? Let us see a simple example. I have initialized the x value as 0, while x value as 0. That means let us consider 0 is less than 10. It is true, it will enter into the while loop, it will display the x value which is 0, and then afterwards the x value has been incremented to 1, and after executing this statement, the control will go back to here. Now 2 is less than 10, which is again true. It will come here, you will get an output of earlier it is 0, now it is 1, so we'll get an output of 0 for the first time. Second time you will get an output of 1. Next it will be incremented at 2 is also less than 10, you will get an output of 2. So 0, 1, 2, like that this will be going on repeating. Now once x value is 9, at that time 9 value will be incremented to incremented to 10, then it will go back to here 10 less than 10, which is false. At that case it will come out of this loop and you will get an output of end of while. So for this example you will get an output of 0 to 9. Got it all of you? This is how while loop will be executed. Now here it is called as entry controlled. Why? Because at the time of entering into the while loop, here we are controlling the loop by using this condition at the time of entry. So that's why it is called as an entry controlled loop. We have another case which is called as a do while. In do while, repeatedly executes the block of statements until the condition becomes false. See here the syntax will be like this. We need to enter do. Do means directly it will enter into this block, and after executing this block the expression will be, the condition will be checked. If it is true, again it will execute this block, and this will be repeated. Once the condition becomes false, it will come out of this one. Now what is the difference between do while and while is, in while for the first time if the condition is false, the block will not be executed, but for do, once the block is executed, then it will check the condition. If the condition is false, then it will come. So at least one the block will be executed in the do while. And observe there is a semicolon here. Okay, the flow will be like this. The code will be executed first and then the statement will be checked. The condition will be checked. If it is true, the flow will be like this until the condition becomes false. So once the condition becomes false, it will come out of this one. So here you can see we'll have the same code whatever I have taken earlier. I have converted that one using do while, where we need to put semicolon here. Here for the first time we'll get 0 and then 1. Okay, then it will be incremented to 1, and as 1 is less than 10, it will be displaying 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4, like that it will repeat 10 times. And once the value of 10 is checked, if it is less than 10, then you won't get that. It will come out of that one and you will get an output of end of do while. Got it? The next iterative statement is for statement, where while and do while using those the code that has written using while and do while can be written in less number of statements using the for statement. For is also used to execute a block of statement more than once. Here the syntax for the for will start with the for keyword, and within the parentheses we need to write 3 statements. The first statement is about the initialization, boolean expression where the condition is to be written, and then the update statement. Remember, and what are all the statements you want to write, that we need to put in the flower braces. If it is a single statement, we can skip this flower braces. Now how the flow of execution will be, let us see. Now the initialization is nothing but assigning the values for a variable, which will be done for the first time, only once it will be done. After initialization, the control will go here. It will check the boolean expression. If it is true, the statements will be executed, and after executing the statement, the control will go to the update. That means we can increment or decrement, anything can be done here. And after updating, the control will come here and it will check the condition if it is true or false. If it is true, again the statements will be executed and the flow will go to the update, and again condition will be checked. If it is true, the statements will be executed. Suppose this is a continuous process. Once let us consider the boolean expression value is false. In such a case, it will stop entering into this one. It will come out of this for loop. Same thing has been given here. Initialization will be done. It will check the condition. That means our boolean expression, the code will be executed, statements will be executed. After that, update, and after update again the condition has to be checked, so it will go to the condition block. So this is a repetition process until the condition is true. If it is false, it will come out of this loop. Right? You can see the simple example here. X value I have taken 10. This will be done only once, and 10 is less than 20. Condition is true. You will get an output of value of X 10, and then the X value will be incremented to 11, and it will check the condition which is true. Again you will get one more statement, value of X 11, and this will be repeated. Once the value of X has been changed to 20, 20 is less than 20, you will get a false condition. Then in such a case it will come out of this for. Got it all of you? So this is how iterative statements while, do while and for will be executed. Let us see the transfer statements. We have 2 transfer statements, that is break and continue. There is no go to statement like C programming language. In Java we have only 2 transfer statements, break and continue. So let us learn in detail about this break. Normally, we already learned in the last class, we used this break in the switch statement, where this break, whenever it is encountered in the switch statement, it will come to the end of the switch statement. Now, normally how the break will be used is, whenever a break is encountered in a loop, then it will immediately terminate that loop. So how it will be done, we'll see with an example. The syntax to use the break is simply this, which is a keyword. If we need to directly write break in all small letters and with a semicolon. So this is the flow chart. Now in a condition, if you have any break, then it will directly come out of that loop. Let us see this example. For I have taken I value 1. Which will be executed once, then I value 1 is less than 5, then it will come here. In the if statement, it will check 1 is equal to 3, which is false, so it will not enter into this break. It will come here, I value will be displayed as 1. Now it will come here, I value will be incremented to 2, 2 is less than 5, true. Come here, 2 is not equal to 3, it will be skipped. You will get an output of 2. So 1, 2 will be displayed. Come here, 3. Now 3 is less than 5, which is true. Now if 3 equal to 3, which is true, the break will be executed. Now whenever there is a break inside a for loop or inside any iterative statement, then it will come out of this for loop. So the control will come here and the next statements, iterative statements will be skipped. So for this program, we will get an output of 1 and 2 only, because there is a break statement whenever the I value is 3. Got it? So this is how break statement will be used. So whenever there is a break statement inside the loop, it will be immediately terminated. Exactly opposite to this one is a continue, where continue is used to continue with the next iteration. So how it will be done, we'll see with an example. So the syntax will be directly we need to use continue with the end with the semicolon. This is the flow chart for that one. Let us see. So in a conditional loop, if you have a continue with the next iteration. Let us learn with a simple example. Same example has been replaced with the continue. I value starts from 1. 1 is less than 5. True. This will be skipped. You will get 1. I value is 2. It is true. So you will get 2. Once I value is 3, the condition is 3. So, okay, when the I value is 3, what happens? We have to execute this continue. What is the meaning of this continue is, skip the present iteration, skip the other statements in the loop, go to the next iteration. So it will not print the I value 3. I value will be incremented to 4. 4 less than 5, you will get an output S4. This will be skipped because 4 is not equal to 3. So you will get a 4 is equal to 3 is a false. Then you will get an output of 4. For 5, the condition is false. It will directly come out of this for loop. So what happens? For this program, you will get an output of 1, 2, 4 only. 3 will be skipped. Why? Because whenever it is 3, it is telling continue. Continue means skip the remaining statements in the for loop. It continue with the next iteration. That is what told here. In a loop, when continue keyword is used, it causes the control to immediately jump to the next iteration. It will skip the remaining statements in that loop. Whereas break will continue that loop there itself. It will not continue. Got it? This is how the transfer statements and the iterative statements will be executed. As part of iterative statements, we learned about while, do while, for. As part of transfer statements, we learned about break and continue. There is no go to statement in the Java. Okay, so with this we'll come to an end of all the control statements including our previous video and this video. If you have not watched the previous video, I request you all go through that previous video where we learned about selection statements in the Java. So this is completely about control statements in Java. Let us all meet in our next video. Thank you.